Hello everybody, this is vinnieart Mella. I am the creator of Shadow of the Kraken. This is available on Indiegogo right now. It's a 50-page comic book. Yeah, I'm looking to hit some more stretch goals with this project. So yeah, if you can, please support it. If not, please get it out there on social media, retweet, share, all that good stuff. I'm trying to get some more fantastic things unlocked for everybody, including possibly more pages of art and story for everyone. I'm well into this project. I'm putting some of the most detailed work I've done to date into this. So yeah, please check that out. Today I wanted to cover composition a little bit. So something I've been meaning to do for a while. So I sketched up our rule of thirds. So basically, when you want to do a proper layout for something, what we're going to be thinking about are these intersecting points here, where you kind of want the importance of your images to usually be. So for example, let's say we got a villainous character here, maybe someone like Thanos, or I don't know, just think of something kind of cool. And let's say he has his fist up in the air here. He's proclaiming victory, something along those lines. I don't know. Again, we're just messing around. Nothing super important, but I'll fill it in too for you guys, so you kind of know what we're talking about here. So what we got, I'll just fill it all in so you can see what we're talking about. And it's, again, it's this kind of motion in here, right? So it's the frame up basically of the image that we're creating. Like I said, it's not too important. I'm not focused on the drawing right now. I'm just focused on what we're trying to convey. And this is it's like the proper frame up for an image is what we're getting into here. I gotta erase all this here. Remember, you just kind of draw through, so your drawing is it makes sense, and all your anatomy and stuff is going to be where it is. But essentially, this is what we're kind of thinking about. It's the frame up to an image. So let's go on this next example, and let's say it is, again, we're thinking about these points, right? So we want our subject matter to kind of be either on it or framed up through it. So as a quick example, let's say I'm going to think in terms of Through the Woods, right? This is my book, which is still available too on Indiegogo, by the way. It's a hardcover edition, but let me fill all this in. So let's say we're going to have our character, Jack Lombardo. He's kind of walking through the woods. So let me just put in this quick figure here. He's walking there with his big axe in hand, whatnot. I'll fill him in a bit. Just so you guys can understand a little bit more what's kind of going on. Give a little bit of a shadow or something. And then we could just put some other trees here. And we're thinking again about the frame up of the image. some of the trees and bushes and such. And I'll just literally just grab all this in here. And we'll just fill it in black. You can put some of the little details and elements. This is what you would call, like, I guess, set dressing. And if you want to frame it up even better with like more branches and stuff, and it's like you're kind of directing the eye to what you want to see, right? So we want the focal point to be here on Jack, who's walking again through the woods. So put your elements in place and what you want to do, but like for the most part, to make a composition interesting, like we can see this really big thick branch or piece of tree. We know where he is, and let's just fill in some more again of some of the elements and things that you want in here. There's another tree. But yeah, as artists and storytellers, this is the type of stuff that you need to get down in a proper way to be more dramatic and again, make an image. Well, it gives more relevance and it makes more sense to the overall story and what you're going for. So typically, like I would, even like when I'm coloring it, I would probably make like this area all around them a little bit darker. Let's say you got like light sources. So like I might have some light coming through the trees, maybe like in this direction. And I would probably light the floor or the area so that we would have kind of like this spot here. So everything kind of makes sense with composition. It's not just the drawing itself. You could get a lot across with lighting and things of that nature. Obviously he'd have a shadow that's kind of being, but it's things along those lines. So you could put, again, think about where your lighting is coming from a little bit and play with those elements, right? So you'd have a lot of kind of this sort of thing is what we're thinking about in terms of, again, composition, lighting, and what's going to draw the eye and the viewer into what we're looking at. So it's stuff along, you know, these kind of again, rules for composition that would make kind of cool sense. Other things to think about are like are other shapes rather. So let's say we're gonna draw a couple of characters in here. Maybe we'll do black. There we go. So you know, so you got a heroic stance. And again, I'm not getting super super detailed with these drawings. This is loose just to break down some composition for you guys, but what we're thinking about. So let's say we have a character who is standing on a cliff or something, and he's looking downward. Clean it up a little. So again, this is just a rough so you can see what's going on here, but I'll break it down in just a second. Just getting a little bit more of the form down. But and just throw his foot in here. Think about what else you're gonna put in this image. And yeah, so he's got, yeah, there's a bunch of rocks and things and whatnot. we seeing here? I'll do it with our blue color. We're seeing a triangular shape. So this is the kind of thing you need to be thinking about when you're making a composition. What you want to break down, what makes sense, and then obviously, let's say he's on a battlefield. Maybe it's not a cliff, maybe it's a battlefield, right? And we got a bunch of characters in the foreground, and they got maybe their weapons and, let's say, spears and stuff. Now we're going to be thinking about this kind of a shape. So you could put, like, I don't know, swords and whatnot, things like of that nature. We're getting sort of like into the Frank Rosetta realm. Yeah, maybe it's not a sword, maybe it's a spear. And he's holding it here. Again, these are very, very crude, rough drawings, but this is just to lay down some basic ideas and basic shapes of what we're looking for in terms of composition. So, again, this is nothing pretty. This is just kind of a mess, but you know, just put your figures in and kind of what we're thinking about, just in terms of design and the flow of things. So we got a couple of different stuff happening with that type of artwork. And again, like I said, you want to break down some cool ideas and mess around with things of that nature. Then when you put perspective in place as well, you're going to have a lot more going on and a lot more to think about. So we can even go back to that first image. I'll give you an example. So say if our perspective is back here and it's shooting out into this direction, you know, or actually maybe it'd be better in the other direction. So let's say if we want to get even more dramatic, so we got perspective here, right? So you could do it with lighting, you could do it with objects, but what it's going to do is draw the eye and the focus more into the character. So let's say he's got a glowy effect or something's going on, or it's just kind of like those power lines, and it's all pulling so that you could focus on his face. And you know, he's a happy Thanos. I don't know. Anyway, that's just kind of a thought of what you should be thinking about when you are composing a shot and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you get all that out of here, and yeah, like I said, everything pulls towards the focal point of your characters and what you want people to be looking at. And like, you know, another thing too, like let's say there's a light source behind this character, the sun or moon or I don't know, and the light would be kind of shining downward like this. Well, then what else is going on here? It's drawing you towards him, towards the focal point, which is this character. Then again, you want to do set dressing. You know, you could have like it's a battlefield. You know, maybe we got vultures and stuff flying overhead. You know, and we start to compose a pretty cool shot here. You know, well, obviously, if it's going to be like a cover, you're going to want more to play with. So just bring it up higher. But essentially, like that's kind of what we're thinking about. And then you can do the same thing too with let's say like with clouds or whatever. Kind of go in that motion. Draw the eye where you want it to go. So maybe, yeah, the clouds are kind of making that shape as well, that it draws to the main character, to your heroic kind of element. But yeah, this is again what we need to be thinking about with the art that we're creating, what we want to get across in terms of composition, style. Um, like I said, what I call like the set dressing is the extra little elements you want to put in there. So here's another weapon or something pointed. You know, just a bunch of stuff you can play with, but it doesn't all have to be super obvious like that. Like I said, we could have somebody just standing up here. He's got a big weapon or a sword or a spear and whatnot. But it's that kind of stuff is what we're going to be really focusing on. And another thing too, with a shot like this, you get very dramatic, especially if you're going to get the lighting from behind. So let's say most of the character, he is, you know, he's got shadow coming from the front of him, since obviously he's being lit from behind. So it's going to be a more powerful and ominous kind of thing. And again, I'm just kind of loosely filling this in to break down what we're thinking about, what we're looking at. Yeah, everything is story elements you should be thinking about when you're creating, especially again if we're dealing with comic books here, and just the visual format itself. If it's video games, concept artwork, stuff for movies, whatever it is, you want something that's going to be very powerful, very eye-catching, and it's things of that nature which you could break down. Let's say, let me hit the floor too. Bam. Lots of cool stuff you could play with and figure out. And let's say we're gonna do one more example. I'm selecting the correct thing. So again, think about like those kind of points and what you want to do. We'll go with another kind of in your face shot. I mean, we're dealing a little bit with, again, foreshortening and perspective and whatever. But let's say we got a character who is throwing a big ass punch. Maybe it's somebody like the Hulk, or I don't know. Whoever you want to be there. And you go with the flow of the image you're looking at here. Since it's opposites. So if he's throwing a punch with his right hand, his left leg's going to be coming forward. That's something else to think in mind, or keep in mind. But what we got here is, again, we have this flow that's in your face. It's the frame up. What you're thinking about. You can come up with some very cool compositions. Just playing with some ideas with shapes and things of that nature. Like I said, I'll grab the blue again. Like in this shot, we have two elements. We're going back to that guy who's standing there with the sun behind him. We have this circular shape of what the guys in the front are doing. And then we also have the triangular shape. And you're leading the eye. You're focusing on what you have to. What's going to be important to these story elements. Like I said, we got over here, we have the fist, we have the face. If you break down the grid again, what do we got? We got this point and we got this point. These are the focal areas that we're talking about. These are the things that are going to make your shots interesting entertaining, looking pretty cool, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so think about that. Like I said, and also think about again, like the set dressing, what you want and how you want things to focus and play out. I'm going back on this one real quick to darken up the top part here. Maybe throw a couple more trees and stuff in the background. Again, we're just making it loose. Nothing super crucial. And then also thinking about how we want our lighting and to draw the eye and ambiance and all that good stuff. So yeah, the light's breaking through some of the trees. And this is kind of, again, the area that we want to be playing in is where the character is standing. And you'll see that too in Through the Woods if you pick that up, the hardcover book that I have. I have great frame up shots that, you know, I really get in there with being dramatic, since again it's more of like a ghost story. So I have a couple of key pages and shots that you're going to see very clear examples of composition and, you know, power shots and all that good stuff. But yeah, so just start to darken in everything else here. And again, where's the eye leading you? Where is it focused on? It's our character who's, again, walking through the woods. He's got his big axe here and all that good stuff. But again, so there's kind of a quick, easy breakdown of composition. So I hope you guys learn a lot from it. Please hit like and subscribe on my videos. I'm going to be doing more of the live stream kind of master classes or just hangout drawing streams. Last week it really went into just a big hangout thing with a bunch of different people who came on. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I won't have as many people on because I know things get a little bit crazy, but I want to still be able to teach you guys a little bit more about, you know, what we're thinking about, what we're focused on, and yeah, how to make comics a proper way with proper anatomy, perspective, composition, you name it. We're going to try to break down more of that and more cool examples. So thank you again, everybody. You can find me on all social media as vinnieart or at vinnieart. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. But again, yeah, my YouTube channel, please make sure to get the word out about this. And yeah, we're going to have some more fun. So remember, everybody, be kind to one another, but kick ass while you create. Have a great day.